The Town of Bloomfield is demanding $118.4 million from taxpayers for its fiscal year 2027 budget. The survival of that spending plan now depends on the outcome of exactly 2,290 specific votes. On May 22, 2026, the town clerk certified 1,165 valid signatures on a resident petition. This certification triggers Section 906 of the town charter, which mandates a yes or no referendum to approve or reject the budget. This request for record-breaking funding is occurring alongside a documented breakdown in the town's ability to provide clear financial reporting. In late 2025, the rating agency Moody's entirely withdrew its credit rating for Bloomfield. This occurs when an entity's financial disclosures are so degraded that the agency can no longer mathematically verify its creditworthiness. Because the town has lost its external rating due to these reporting failures, taxpayers can no longer rely on the administration's internal claim that this $118 million budget is accurately balanced. To determine if these funds are being managed properly, we have to audit three specific areas: the categorization of the general ledger, the staffing levels of public safety departments, and the rate at which the town is depleting its reserve fund balance. Standard political campaigning and simple voting are often completely unable to address these types of entrenched accounting maneuvers. This video provides the tools to perform a forensic ledger analysis using the town's own OpenGov portal to trace taxpayer spending. It also defines the statutory mathematics required by the town charter to successfully execute a referendum rejection. By combining financial forensics with strict statutory math, taxpayers gain a specific legal mechanism to force a comprehensive budget rewrite. The audit begins with Bloomfield's OpenGov portal. This is a public-facing reporting tool that is tethered directly to Munis, the town's internal system of record. Within this system, a massive anomaly is visible. For the current fiscal year, $2.19 million in municipal expenditures is listed as undefined, with no specific department assigned to the spending. This happens because the finance department is processing invoices through the ledger without assigning them a mandatory department code. To find the source of this spending, you have to use the portal's checkbook feature and export the raw data into a CSV spreadsheet for analysis. This is a representation of the raw data. When you cross-reference the 45 data fields in the Munis export, you can see that the segment columns remain blank, recorded as unknown, even as millions of dollars track toward a vague vendor list. These empty data fields prevent both the town council and the public from tracking exactly which department spent the money or what the money was used for. This lack of categorization has the effect of hiding controversial expenditures, such as tens of thousands of dollars in outside legal bills from firms like the Crombie Law Group, from public oversight. The finance director has defended this as a legacy setting in the software, but dismissing a $2.19 million black hole as a glitch is difficult to justify when it actively masks the use of taxpayer funds. Beyond the hidden ledger, the formal FY2027 adopted budget contains a series of visible accounting tricks designed to artificially balance the books. One such trick is the use of ghost vacancies, a tactic where a department is purposefully understaffed to create paper savings on a budget document. In this budget, the administration is holding 4 frontline police department positions vacant. This move artificially suppresses the tax impact by roughly $270,000. While this balances the ledger on paper, it does so by intentionally understaffing core public safety operations. Contrast that cut to the police department with the town manager's office, which maintains a fully funded adopted budget of over $757,000. At the same time, the human resources budget received a $127,000 spike, largely allocated for executive tuition reimbursement. The official transcripts from the budget meetings show the town council debating reductions to basic services, like refuse collection and library hours. At the same time, they were approving these spikes in administrative and training accounts. The budget also reveals a pattern of delaying the funding of state mandates, specifically those regarding early voting. Testimony on the record confirms the town purposefully underfunded the state mandate from 2024 through 2026, which artificially lowered past budget totals. Because this legal requirement can no longer be ignored, taxpayers are being hit with the compounded multi-year costs all at once in the 2027 budget. This $119 million request is not a structurally balanced plan. It is a temporary accounting illusion sustained by defunding frontline services, ignoring state mandates, and draining reserve funds. Beyond the financial audit, stopping this budget requires navigating the legal requirements of the referendum process. Section 906 of the Bloomfield Town Charter establishes rigid rules for a budget referendum to be valid. The 1,165 signatures certified by the town clerk represent a procedural victory that places the budget on the ballot. However, the charter requires a much higher turnout to actually invalidate the council's decision. A common misconception is that a simple majority, merely having more no votes than yes votes, will win the referendum. This is incorrect. For the budget to be rejected, at least 15% of the entire eligible voting pool must cast a no vote. To calculate that number, we look at the certification data. The base pool consists of 15,159 registered voters, plus eligible property owners over 18 with real estate valued over $1,000. When you apply the 15% requirement to this combined pool, you reach the absolute statutory floor. A minimum of 2,290 no votes are required to reject the budget. Total voter turnout does not matter if this specific threshold is not met. If the final tally yields fewer than 2,290 no votes, the rejection effort fails and the budget becomes law. If the 2,290 threshold is met and the budget is defeated, taxpayers must insist on a new framework that addresses these specific forensic findings. The demand must be for a budget that fully funds town operations without depleting the 15% minimum unassigned fund balance. It must also include the total elimination of undefined spending categories and prioritize frontline services over administrative expansion. But if the referendum fails to meet the statutory threshold, the path to reform shifts away from the town hall entirely. If local control fails to fix these issues, the battle moves to state-level administrative and legal enforcement. This includes filing formal complaints with the State Elections Enforcement Commission regarding the use of public funds, and ethics complaints with the statewide grievance committee. The final line of escalation leads to the Municipal Finance Advisory Commission. This state body has the power to place the town into a Tier 1 financial receivership, effectively stripping local leaders of their authority. Mathematically unsustainable systems always face an audit. The only question is whether the taxpayers execute it at the ballot box or the state executes it through receivership.
Correction. During this presentation, the 15% voter turnout threshold required to validate the budget referendum under Town Charter Section 906 was stated as 2,290 votes. This figure was structurally miscalculated. Based on the town clerk's legally certified petition threshold of 1,137 signatures, representing the statutory 7.5% of the electorate, the total registered voting body of Bloomfield is exactly 15,160 electors. Therefore, the exact 15% threshold required by the town charter to officially reject the FY2027 adopted budget is 2,274 votes. This correction is issued to ensure the public record remains mathematically unassailable and strictly aligned with certified municipal data.